Hi there, I'm Matt with K15T, and we are going to talk about AI-powered meetings in Confluence using Zoom, using Loom, the other one. This is really exciting. This is a whole new kind of ability that's been added into Confluence that I'm really excited about. Actually, the first live learning session that I did was all about Loom. And I'm really excited to see how Loom is becoming more and more a part of the Atlassian suite of tools for every team. So as we get started, a few things that y'all should know. First off, if you have a question, please drop it into the live chat with #question, just so we know, hey, this is a question. We have our friend Stefan in the chat who will be answering questions right alongside Braylon and Robert from Atlassian, who will also be there to help answer any questions specifically. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness, folks from Indianapolis, from De La Cruz. Oh my God. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hello from Stuttgart. Hello from upstate New York. Also, if you would hit that like button in YouTube, that tells the algorithm that something great is happening here, and I'm pretty sure something is. So we're gonna find out. Also, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so, because I am lining up live streams for the next 7 months currently. So we are going to be learning about all manner of new things. It's going to be a great time. And we are about to start dumping a lot more video content back on the channel. So please subscribe there. And finally, if you like to learn about Confluence, we actually write a weekly dose of Confluence email newsletter. It goes out every single week with Confluence news, Confluence tips, Confluence best practices straight from the team at K15T. It's a really great resource. I only know that because I've been doing a lot of writing on it lately, and I'm like, please subscribe for your good and for mine, so we can learn together. All right, without further ado, I am going to introduce some fantastic guests because I'm really excited to learn together. So first of all, I want to introduce Isa Oliveras, who is a PM on the Loom team. Hi, Isa. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Matt. Thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited to chat about AI-powered meeting notes and Loom meeting recordings with folks today.
I love that so much. It's so great to have you. Also, we have Melanie Zhao. Thanks so much for joining us, Melanie. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt. Really excited. Isa and I have been working on this feature for months now, and super excited to get it in the hands of users and actually hear real feedback.
I'm so thrilled. Yeah, and just in case I didn't make it clear, y'all, you should be going crazy in the live chat with any questions, thoughts, because this is meant to be an interactive live stream. So interrupt us, throw your questions in there so that we can get going. Okay, so without any more dillying or dallying, there have been a few changes to Loom in the last, I don't know, year and a half since it sort of joined the team. And Isa and Melanie, I would love to know, like, what is happening with Loom now? What are AI-powered meeting notes?
Sure, Matt. So as folks may know, if they're familiar with Loom, Loom historically has been a kind of async collaboration and video tool. So you can record a quick Loom to get back on something async and share it out, or to maybe capture a bug that you found and share that with your Eng team. But the really kind of big news, big change in Loom over the past few months, and at Team 25 for folks who were there or watched the keynote, is that Loom now also has moved into kind of synchronous video and meeting recording. So Loom launched a meeting recordings capability. You can connect Loom to calendar, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, and use it to record meetings on Zoom, on Google Meet, on Teams, which is already in of itself really powerful because you get all the benefits of Loom, that fast processing, the ability to share, comment. But what is really exciting is that we actually apply AI on top of that. So what Melanie and I have been working on over the past few months is AI-powered meeting notes, which is a feature that combines the power of Loom, Confluence, AI, and even Jira, as you'll see, to kind of automate the need to, or take out the need for you to take notes during a meeting. You can instead focus on having a really great meeting, and then we record the meeting for you, we capture the notes for you, and centralize them in Confluence for you automatically. So yeah, I can show you a little bit of how that looks, Matt, then we can go deeper into the details of that.
I would
good.
absolutely love that. Let's take a look.
Awesome. So yesterday, Melanie and I had a meeting to
You know what,
plan
Issa? Currently, I am
for
not
today
seeing
what we
your
wanted to
screen.
do, and I recorded that meeting. Oh,
Yeah, let's give it
so
another
let me see.
another attempt there with the sharing.
Do you see it now? Or no, not at all.
Not at all. I can imagine what it would look like, though. I'm thinking like a Confluence with a Loom. There, yeah, it's coming alive. It's coming alive. There we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming alive. Great. Thanks.
There we are. We can see it.
So Melanie and I had a meeting yesterday where we chatted about how excited we were and kind of game plan for today. And we recorded that meeting with Loom. And right after the meeting, I got this email that kind of recapped. So neither of us took notes. We just chatted and game planned. And as you can see here, there's actually a button that just says view the notes in Confluence that's already in the email. So kind of the magic of AI powered meeting notes is that when the meeting started, page was has these notes. And then once the meeting was ended, the action items, the summary of the meeting, the links we shared in the chat, as well as a recording of the meeting are all kind of centralized in Confluence for us. So that way Melanie and I can just, we are prepped, we're ready to go. We have all our action items captured for today. And all of this is centralized in Confluence so that, we can both access this whenever we need it. It's also accessible from the calendar, and kind of using this and setting it up is like super, super quick and simple. So yeah, curious where we should go from here.
Well, actually, right off the bat, one question that we have from Dave in the chat is, can you use this with Zoom? Can you use it with Microsoft Teams? Like, how can I do the whole meeting recording thing to even like kind of start where you just did?
Definitely. So yeah, Loom meeting.
Issa has a very wibbly wobbly connection where she is. Melanie, is that a question you could answer?
But I can answer that. Yeah,
Perfect.
hopefully we can get Issa back on. Yes, yeah, absolutely. We have integrated with Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, a couple of others that I'm sure Issa could list, but those are the big
Google
ones.
Calendar.
Okay, what about Blue Jeans? I'm trying to think of the most obscure video calling tool.
Issa, are you? Oh boy.
Issa never did track down that better internet connection. Hopefully Issa comes and joins us again. Okay, so you can add it to just about any major video calling tool that you're currently using. Thank you, David. Also, there was a question from Justin. Melanie, do you know, can Loom AI identify different speakers based on like the sound of their voice? Is that how it's telling who is saying what to create these meeting notes?
Yeah, it's not just the sound of their voice. I mean, oops.
Welcome back, Issa.
Hey, Issa, can you hear us?
Yeah. Sorry about that, team.
Yeah, I think your internet is a little bit rocky, Issa, and so you're breaking up a bit.
Oh, so sorry about that. Do you want to take that one, Melanie, while I figure out how to make this better?
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so the question was, how does the Loom AI determine who is speaking? Just the same way that in a Zoom or in a Google Meet, you can see your box outlined when you're speaking. It knows based on the meeting platform tool itself.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So yeah, these are very much like capturing exactly who is talking. So
Exactly.
Loom knows exactly who is saying what. So you're not going to have an issue of, I didn't really say that, because literally the platform that it's recording from will be able to tell. Okay, awesome.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Okay.
While Isa is trying to get her internet ready, I can go in and show the meeting notes example from the meeting we had yesterday. Would that be good?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
All right, so this is the actual real life meeting note generated from the meeting that Isa and I had yesterday. So you'll see that it has the name of the event, we just called it Melanie Isa, the date and time that we did it, who was invited, who was on the calendar invite. And then we have action items. So these are AI generated by Loom AI. Isa and I talked through a few of the different things that we needed to do to prep for today. And it also has timestamps, links to the actual video. So if I were to click this, it would open up and go directly to 3 minutes and 20 seconds where I said, hey, I've got to show the output of the meeting notes and action items at the beginning of the session. So it'll jump right there. And if I were to hit play, it would go right there. That's really helpful for if you come back to these notes and you can't exactly remember the context, or maybe you don't know why you agreed to do something. Sometimes I do that, and I can go back and see the exact moment in the meeting that happened. It also has an AI generated summary of everything, kind of the broad themes of what we discussed. Links that were shared. So we had been working on a page together just of notes of things we want to cover for today's demo. So any link that's shared this was in Zoom, so in the Zoom chat will automatically get pulled here. And then the full meeting recording is at the bottom. The last thing we've just recently added is labels. So now we have a label on this page, which just makes it easier for people to find and group everything that was a meeting note. Versus other types of content that you might create in Confluence. The amazing thing about this is, yes, we have the notes, which are helpful in a one-off situation. They're even more helpful if this were a project kickoff with a lot of different people in the group. They're even more helpful if it's a recurring meeting, which I'll show you in a second, of the cool things that we can do if we know it's a recurring meeting. And it's even more helpful if you have Rovo, which is our AI tool with Atlassian, because all of this content goes into Rovo Search and Rovo Chat. So that knowledge is no longer just in a meeting or just in somebody's head. It's actually in the system, and you could search later. What did we decide on that meeting we had last Tuesday? And it would find that for you in the search. I'm going to pause there because I think that was a ton of info. So let me know if there's any questions in the chat, Matt.
It was a ton of info. Hi, everybody in the chat who has joined. It's great to have you all. Just a quick reminder, please hit the like button there in YouTube. That will bring more people to join the party. And, hit that subscribe button if you know what's good for you. Wow, so many questions, actually. So let me see. Oh, my God. Y'all have such good questions. Justin wants to know, are there like trigger words that help Loom identify that something is an action, like for meeting participants, for example?
Oh, great questions. So we have been refining kind of the AI prompt in the background, but it does, I think, conversation as it processes it. So, if you say like, Isa should do XYZ, it would do that, but you don't need to do like specific voice prompting. It's really tuned to kind of general ways in which people add something as an action item saying, what are next steps? What should we follow up on? X person should do Y. So it's been honestly really cool to see over the past few weeks, even how we're constantly finding that. So it's more and more accurate without needing specific voice prompting.
Oh, I do love how like getting an AI model to be that good, just like it becomes so powerful, right? For things like this. Cesar wants to know, in situations where there are some people in the conference room, right? Maybe they're using a Zoom room or a Google Meetings room, whatever they call those setups. can it also still isolate people, different speakers, and what different speakers are saying?
It currently can't. That's one of the limitations, I think, with a lot of meeting recordings tools today is that, if you're in, we have a meeting room called Ghostbusters in one of our offices where Melanie and I frequently meet. And in those cases, if we're both in there, it'll say, Ghostbusters is speaking. That's definitely something that our meeting recordings team has on their roadmap as an enhancement because, especially as, some people are going back into the office or more hybrid, we want to get better and better at, full voice identification, but we can't do that just yet.
Okay, I kind of love that. And that means your other meeting room called Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is named after a comical police squad, is being assigned action items right now. And I just want to see Andy Sandberg taking care of a task on Confluence. If I'm honest, I just would really like to see that in the world. Wow, there's so many other good questions. If you don't mind, let's just answer a few more questions before we take a look at some more things. Stefan wants to know, is it possible to save the meeting notes in a public space? And Melanie, if you want to answer that, maybe?
Yeah. So today, right now, it's defaulting to saving the meeting notes in your personal space, but we are working right now on adding the ability, so that should be coming, I think, in the next few weeks, to save it in whatever space you want. And then it would just follow the typical Confluence rules. So whatever you have set up for that Confluence space, the perms that you want to apply to it, you would just do through Confluence.
Do you want to show where in the personal space a meeting is put?
Yeah, sure. So here's my personal space here. And it just creates this folder here called AI-Powered Meeting Notes. You could rename it to be whatever you want. And then it starts grouping them in here. So this is, we can talk about this in a second. This is a recurring meeting that Isa and I have. We have like a bi-weekly sync. And so for a recurring meeting, it will group all of those meetings in that series as children pages underneath sort of this parent page that is a summary of everything, of all the different meetings in this group. Otherwise, so most of my meetings are recurring meetings. You'll see a bunch of these here, but otherwise it will just add them to this folder, and then you can move them. If it's a project meeting, you could move that into the project folder that it's for. But again, in a couple of weeks, we'll have the ability to make that decision at the beginning of the meeting or even before the meeting starts.
I really love that. I mean, this is such a good first step to drop it in the personal space, especially if your team is just getting started with things, right? You can just kind of like see how this feature works. Also, you can like check the quality, see how that's looking before it's just being dropped into a team space. So for right now, it's dropping into your personal space. Justin wants to know, does Loom have any sort of like important sections of the meeting? Like, can it mark those either in the video or in the notes?
Yeah, so it pulls out basically in the notes the main sections of discussion. So you can see in the summary, it breaks out, what the main things we talked about. And that's in this case, it was, we planned the agenda for the meeting. Then we talked about, the flow and who was going to do what. And you can actually see that those sections are time-stamped. So this can be a couple weeks ago when I was at Team 25, I was missing a lot of meetings. So I would look at those notes and then skim through the notes and see, oh, actually, this one section seems really relevant for our project. And I can click on the timestamp and it takes me right into the section of the video so I can just watch that bit. And if you have a long meeting, you'll probably have a bunch of sections. And we are also working on kind of adapting the summary based on the type of meeting that you're having. That's coming out over the next few months. So you could imagine that the recap for like your all hands meeting will look different than the recap for a sales call you're having or for a one-on-one. So we're also really excited about how to keep making those notes more kind of customized to the conversation that was being had.
I really love this. And Victoria, Melanie, I think this is kind of related to what you had said earlier. Victoria was wondering, they would love to have all of their team meeting notes appear in an area right off their homepage for Confluence. Was wondering if like an automation rule or something could be set up to achieve this. But it sounds like if soon you'll be able to say, I want my meeting notes to go here, then you could just do like a child page macro or something like that, and they would just automatically show in that list.
Yeah, exactly. I think for right now, the automation is the way to go. But in a few weeks, you'll be able to just make that selection through the UI directly.
Okay, amazing, amazing. I have a question. Is this integrated with the Confluence calendar? Will these all, will things on the Confluence calendar be recorded and connected as well?
That's a great question. It's not right now. Right now, we're primarily integrated with the like Google Calendar, Outlook, those types of things, but that's definitely on our list. So if you want to, whoever asked that question, if you want to send over your info, we can make sure to give you a shout when it's on the roadmap and ready to go.
Fantastic, fantastic. Can you edit the action assignments? Rebecca would like to know. Should be editable, right?
Yes.
It's just in a Confluence page.
Yes. Yep. Once it's in a Confluence page, it's fully editable, just like any Confluence page. Mhm. Yeah, I think one great thing which I didn't show, which might be awesome to show if I could share my screen again, Matt,
Absolutely.
is not only can you edit them, but you can also turn them into Jira work items. So here's an example. Let's say one of the things I was supposed to do was add the page as a smart link for easy access. So I just highlight that and I click plus Jira work item. And this is opening a side panel on the right here where I can turn this a copy into a Jira item. So I could select, I'll just put it in my testing project for now. It's automatically pulling sort of the copy here. And if I wanted to change anything, I could. If I wanted to say, oh, this is already in progress because I'm working on it already. Or, right now it's sort of assigning to me, but I could change the assignee. And then when I hit create, that will actually create the work item in Jira. So this is the link to it here. And if I were the kind of person that has, all of my sort of personal tasks in a Jira board, then I could see all of that here. The one-on-one is maybe not the best use case for it, but my team personally uses this a lot for when we have project kickoffs, when we have brainstorms, and we want to say, these are the ideas that we really like. Let's go ahead and transform them automatically into Jira work items so they don't get lost and they can keep moving through our flow of work.
Amazing. That answers a question that Lance had, and also a question that I had, because I was also going to ask, like, does it work with Trello cards? But you should be able to quickly create a Trello card. It's not as easy to create a Trello card from Confluence as it is to make a Jira work item, but we can dream, can we not?
That's also something we've been talking with the Trello team about. So your dream is not so far off. Don't worry.
I've always wanted, the connection between Jira and Trello and Confluence to just be like, perfect. Just like directing the symphony. I can pull work in, I can push work out. Like that's how we all want it to be. And we're getting there. We're getting there. What were you saying, Isa? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was going to say that I'll also use this as an opportunity to shamelessly plug joining the beta community for AI powered meeting notes, because we love getting this kind of feedback, both in terms of like, what else would you want us to be able to support? How are you using it? What's missing? We're really eager to get that. So please join if you can.
And that we can join that from the Atlassian community. And I'm wondering if I have the link. Yes, I do have the link. Let me grab the link and we will drop it in the chat, y'all, so that anybody can click that link and jump in and join the fun. The nice thing about being part of these betas, y'all, is you're going to be talking directly with Isa and Melanie and team. Like the connection that you have with the people building the product is really insane. And that doesn't mean you're going to be like, I have this idea, and they're going to be like, sure, let's do that. But it's more like, okay, like here's a legitimate problem we're running into. Here's some feedback that we we are getting from people that are using this, would you, consider it? In fact, one question that we have from who asked this question? Victoria. Victoria wants to know, how does Loom AI do with accents? We've got folks working in the UK, maybe folks working in different European countries. We got folks in the US. How does it handle different accents when it comes to this stuff?
I'd say generally quite well. I think, again, it's something where you constantly work on refining, but we are a global team at Atlassian, and I have meetings with folks across Europe and Australia and folks that work in India, people with different accents, and I've generally found that the kind of notes are accurate and they're kind of picking up on what's being said without a problem. I think it's probably not like 100% accurate all the time, but that's also one of kind of the areas where we're constantly seeking to refine things. And again, really great to hear feedback from users. If you're finding that it's not being accurate or not picking up on things well, that is super, super helpful feedback for us to know where to kind of focus and continue to refine.
I love that. Just now that I'm just curious and I can't help myself, have you tried different languages? Have you all tried speaking a couple of different languages in a meeting just to see what it would do?
Yeah, so I'm from Mexico, so sometimes if I'm with another Spanish speaker in a meeting, I will speak in Spanish. Currently, we transcribe in, I think, over like 30 different languages. The notes today, the output of the notes is in English only, but that's something that we heard a lot from folks at team would be obviously really helpful if you don't work in English to have your notes be in other languages. And that is something that we also have on the roadmap as, making sure that we also support notes in other languages, which should, work just as well as they do in English.
Amazing. I just love this. We have another fantastic question. These questions are so great, y'all. There's a question from Rodney. Is transcribing ASL in your plans at all?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a great prompt, Rodney. I am not sure, but I will make sure to take that back to our meeting recordings team. Yeah, it's an incredible, great accessibility prompt and question.
Yeah,
Thanks
absolutely.
for putting that out.
Yeah, I have a loved one who speaks with ASL. I speak very poorly with it. And I know there is some kind of like an open source project on an LLM where they're working on something like that. But yeah, integrating that into a tool like this would be phenomenal. Loom brings about so many accessibility improvements for so many people. We have a question. And y'all, I didn't forget about you. Could either, or Melanie, I think we're sharing your screen right now just to keep ACE's connection stable. Would you be able to show us quickly how someone would enable this for themselves or their team to use?
Yes, although give me a second because I think we were planning for Issa to show it, and I'm a little bit nervous that
you don't want to show any top secret information because
yes,
the
exactly.
audience of this live stream, they are sharks. They will take it and run. They will sell it to the media. And Confluence as we know it will be a thing of the past. I understand completely.
No, you are all good. Okay.
No,
all right. I think we're safe.
Okay.
I think we're safe. Yes.
All right. If anybody sees anything, don't say anything. Okay.
Close your eyes if you see something top secret confidential.
Oh my God.
God. Here I am in the loom.com/meetings, the meeting section of Loom. It's a new section here. And I already have this all set up, but you just go into settings, and if you want to connect what type of calendar you use, so I have Google Calendar here. There are some settings here for whether or not you want to record all meetings, only internal meetings, or manually selected meetings. And then the setting for whether you want to have that recap email go just to yourself as the owner of the meeting, or if you want to have everybody who's on the invite also get that. And then the ability to obviously turn on the meeting notes in Confluence is what, obviously I'm on the Confluence team, so I'm going to really push for that. I hope everybody turns that on.
Yes. And I'm curious, Melanie, to be able to do this, do I need to bug my admin Do we need to have a special Confluence or Loom plan? Like what is needed to be able to turn this on? Is there anything on that side of things?
Yeah, Isa, do you want to take that?
Yeah, definitely. So in order to get kind of these AI powered meeting notes, you need to have AI enabled on your Loom account. So that's available on our Business Plus AI and Enterprise plans. There are sometimes admins who turn the AI off, so you should kind of double check in that case, and bug them to turn it back on to have this. So you need to have one of those two Loom plans, and then on the Confluence side, you need to have a Confluence site that you need a personal space enabled. That's the one thing today. Coming up, once we have the ability for you to select where those notes go, you won't have the personal space, but because today by default it goes in your personal space, we do need you to have a personal space in Confluence. But currently, if you meet those conditions, when you turn on meeting recordings and kind of connect your calendar in that initial onboarding flow, you'll actually see the option to turn on the Confluence AI powered meeting notes. And if you've already turned it on, you can go to your settings to toggle it on.
I love the integration of that into the setup flow. That's like so needed for admins, for teams that are just getting into things and they're like, I don't know what these things are. That startup is so important. All right, y'all, I have a few more questions from the group here. One is just a note from Stuart that if y'all are thinking about ASL, really love to add BSL, British Sign Language, German Sign Language, right? Signing language is not universal. What a shame. Tess is wondering if we know when Loom admin will be integrated with the rest of Atlassian admin. That's a big question. Do we have an answer for Tess on that?
Yeah, that's a big question, Tess, and I can give you kind of a high level answer and then happy to go deeper. But basically, as of last November, for kind of new Loom accounts and workspaces that are created through Atlassian, the majority of the admin controls and like billing are on like the Atlassian admin hub. If you've been a long-standing Loom customer, you're probably kind of on our legacy stack, in which case we are kind of starting a process of migrating onto Atlassian over the course of the upcoming months. But we know how important it is to integrate, so that's a big focus of our like migration enterprise team to make sure that we have a consistent experience as quickly as we can. So that's an ongoing effort.
And I can speak personally. My personal site that I use for all of my content creation was moved from system to system, and it went well. That was a one-off thing. The team has a lot to do around the migration there, but like if anybody's like, oh God, system migration, I'm getting the cold sweats. Calm down. They got you. They got you. Okay. Justin would love to know, so it is curious around, Atlassian Intelligence / Rovo indexing. It makes sense that the Confluence content is indexed. Is the video recording itself also indexed by Rovo? And can Rovo find parts of the video for you?
Yes. So the transcript of the meeting recording is what's indexed by Rovo, which is really powerful, as Melanie was explaining earlier, because that means that if you search for maybe some specific terms or have a broader question, it can actually pull from the transcript itself and say, hey, this was discussed in your meeting, last Tuesday, and can cite that source from the meeting. So that is part of the real power of Loom and meeting recordings being a part of Atlassian, is that full content is indexed in Rovo, along with all the context from Confluence and Jira and your other Atlassian apps.
The power of the transcript. AI-powered transcripts are such a game changer for so many reasons. Nicole would love to know, how is privatized information handled here? So is the content being stored on OpenAI's servers, or are these being stored natively within Atlassian's infrastructure?
They're stored in Atlassian's infrastructure, like anything related to Atlassian intelligence. So we have the same practices. So yeah, this is kind of within the Atlassian ecosystem. It doesn't go elsewhere.
Lovely. And I think, Nicole, the last I knew, The transcripts that are created from a Loom video, those are run, or they're created by an OpenAI developed model, but it's run on Atlassian's infrastructure. The only time OpenAI's servers are utilized is when you're using something like Rovo, and then that applies to all of Atlassian's commitment to AI privacy. I think that's the way that works. So the transcripts are just Atlassian infrastructure. Is that right? I looked this up once.
Wow, Matt, you're so knowledgeable. You're exactly correct.
I'm just good at talking about something I almost know in a way that sounds like I do know it. And that's why I have experts join me on these things. We have one other question. Someone asking, why can't I see the section to activate this functionality for Loom? So the answer might be, you might not be paying for the Loom plans, the AI. What are the plans now?
It's Business plus AI or Enterprise.
Okay. So you might not have those plans, or your admin may have turned off the AI option if you're in, an industry where they're currently not feeling it. That could be why you're not seeing that currently. All right, y'all. Do you have anything else you really want to show? Because we only have about 7 more minutes. Something you want to show, or maybe some future plans y'all want to talk about?
I think we showed all the big ones. But Isa, do you want to talk about some of the future plans?
Do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we've touched on this a little bit, but we're really excited about one, just allowing you to select kind of where the meeting notes go, since even folks on the call shared, you probably want certain meeting notes in certain places. So that's coming up soon. Having the different outputs of the meeting notes for different kinds of meetings is coming up soon. We also are really excited over the course of the next few months to launch this kind of meeting insights reporter agent, which is a robo agent that is out of the box built for helping you get these insights from your meetings, your meeting recordings, your meeting notes, the work around them. And imagine being able to say something like ask something like, oh, I was just on vacation for 2 weeks. Like, what did I miss while I was on vacation? And this agent can actually create a summary report for you across all the meetings you missed, the progress on your Jira issues, the content added to your Confluence spaces. And we're also working on adding some Loom triggers to the automations platform, which have some really exciting use cases for meetings and meeting notes. So you can imagine having a trigger that's like, hey, when a meeting is recorded that has, sales in the, sales call in the title, take, that meeting notes output and then share that directly in our sales call Slack channel. So lots of really exciting potential there as we are getting Loom more integrated to the Atlassian platform and bringing that along with Confluence to create just hopefully fewer, better meetings for folks.
Ooh, I love the sound of that so much. And just in case anybody in the audience has not used automation, we're not talking about writing code here. This is all point and click, saying and with the power of AI, currently, you can say, if somebody publishes a Confluence page and it's about sales, then do this thing. And AI will run through. It's not looking for keywords. It's actually looking through, finding patterns, understanding, is this about the sales process? If so, it will do the thing. Now we're talking about meetings as well. So without any knowledge of coding, you can see what are these common things that our teams are having? We're having to use our decision-making power, our brain power, constantly, repeatedly to pull some of these things out and to help other people find the insights. We're talking about AI just helping do that. That's so crazy. That's so cool. Okay. Sorry. Don't be afraid of the word automation is all I'm going to say. It's cool. It's easy. I have one other question here so far. Wow. Well, actually, maybe this has been answered. Oh, no, one other question. Can I, and this was a question that I received last week. Some folks, some companies or teams, they have specific templates they use for meeting notes. And they were curious, can Loom AI use a set template the team already has for how they want their meeting notes structured?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think we can today. Isa, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is such an interesting feature to think about. Yeah, Isa, I don't know.
Yeah,
Let me know if I'm wrong.
exactly. Yeah. No, no, you're completely correct. So today we don't support that, but that's a use case that I would love to learn more about. And, if it's around just the kind of formatting and the structure of the page versus the content of the page, because yeah, just hearing that question is making the gears in my brain turn around some
Right,
kind of really
right.
cool things we could enable.
It's ultimately kind of a bigger question that a lot of teams have for just Rovo in general. Like there's lots of, you can ask Rovo, hey, make me a Confluence page in this known like industry format. And it will format things that way. But sometimes it's like, use this page template that I've already made. And especially if you're in a more like a controlled industry, maybe, you're government contractor, things like that. There are industries where you need to have your information formatted in a certain way just for auditability and understandability. That would be super cool to be able to say, hey, super cool AI that you're doing this thing by yourself, but actually use this format that I have specified already and I have approved. That would be groovy. Okay. Amazing. I'm just looking for any other questions. Y'all, we are hitting this 45-minute mark so beautifully and perfectly. Isa and Melanie, I'm afraid our time has come to an end. Thank you so much for joining us. I am particularly excited about this as someone who struggles with a disability. Writing is hard, and I have had jobs in the past where it was my job to be the meeting notes taker. I was a Scrum Master, and I would miss so much in meetings because I would be like writing something and I'd be like, wait, what was just said? And the ability to be able to be fully engaged in meetings and know that information is going to be captured, it is actionable, we can throw it into our planning tools like Trello and Jira, is really, really exciting. And I think there's going to be so much knowledge that is no longer lost in our meetings, and people can come home from vacation and not freak out. And you don't have to be on vacation and be like, I probably should join that meeting so that I don't miss whatever the thing is. Instead, it's just like, it's okay. Loom AI, Loom AI's got you. I've actually just turned this on for my team's meetings. We will be using it tomorrow for our team stand-up, and I'm really excited. Although we do have a template that we'll use for our team meetings, and I can't use that, so kind of a bummer. But I'm like super excited to see the output from that and see if we're just like, actually, yeah, our manual notes are not even as good, is kind of what I expect. So Isa, thank you so much for joining us. Love to have you back soon when y'all have even more exciting Loom stuff to share with us.
Definitely. Thanks so much for having me. This was awesome.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Melanie, thank you so much for joining. This has been really phenomenal. Will you come back and join another live learning session when you got some more cool stuff to share with us?
Absolutely. And I also want to put in one final plug for joining our beta community, because this has already given Isa and me amazing ideas to chew on. We want to keep that going. We want to hear more from our community. There will be an option in the beta community to set up like 10-15 minutes with Isa or me or our marketing team to talk one-on-one. So please do that. We would love to hear from you.
Amazing. Y'all, you're hearing it from the product manager themselves. They are dying to hear from you. Please join that beta group. The link is in the live chat. Thank you so much, Robert and Braylon, for setting this all up. It's been fantastic. Y'all, if you haven't subscribed to our Confluence newsletter, please do that. It's good stuff. It's spam free. I promise. And of course, like and subscribe to continue to join for more great content. This has been such a fun look at AI-powered meetings in Confluence. We have so much more coming at you over the next few months with some really exciting live streams that I am planning all at once. And I am not a good planner, so I can't tell you about them yet. But thank you so much for joining. Please check out our other video content, our other written content as we continue to explore how to use Confluence to share what you do best. Bye.